Hi dear friends and subscribers of Cricket Happenings. Welcome to the first day's play report in the fourth and final test match between Australia and India at Adelaide Oval. And for India, this is a test match played at the Adelaide Oval where India has to save some face. But the initial start that India did after Australia won the toss and elected to bat under sunny skies here in the Border Gavaskar Trophy in the fourth test here at the played at the Adelaide Oval. India had a very good start. In fact, it was Virendra Sehwag who was leading the side. Riddhiman Saha was the wicketkeeper for India as Dhoni has been suspended for one match due to slow over rate. And openers Ed Cowan and David Warner were at the crease. And in fact, India struck right in the beginning. In fact, there were 26 runs added between the openers Ed Cowan and David Warner. But that was the time Zahir Khan struck with getting David Warner LBW for 8. So that was the first wicket to go for Australia. And after that, and as I said, India were really had begun very well here because they had Warner 26 for 1. And in fact, Virendra Sehwag showed some good captaincy. He thought that, David Warner and Ed Cowan were there, so he actually introduced Ashwin very early into the attack, and Ashwin also responded by getting the out of form batsman Shaun Marsh. Shaun Marsh couldn't read a ball from Ashwin, and he was clean bowled between bat and pad and bowled Ashwin for 3. So that was the second wicket to go, and then Ed Cowan with the score on 84 followed Marsh to the pavilion as Ed Cowan was caught by Lakshman of the bowling of Ashwin for 30 with 3-4. So that made it 84 for 3, and India would have been very happy with that performance that they did in the first session. But after that, the balance 2 sessions totally belong to Australia. In fact, right now the score at the Adelaide Oval at stumps on day 1 is Ricky Ponting is not out on his 41st Test 137 with 13 boundaries, and Michael Clarke was not out on 140 with 19 fours and 1 6, and a monumental partnership developing there. 251 runs on already, and the Indian bowlers were really reduced to dust, I would say. And in the final session, absolutely no teeth for the Indian bowling as the Australian batsmen Ponting and Clarke really weaved a magic wand there with their batting. Just looking at the way Ponting and Clarke started, Ponting started off in a very aggressive fashion, settled down and slowly unveiled his strokes. In fact, we got to have a look at Ponting's strokes, the punch down the offside, the pull that he plays on the back foot, and certain very good strokes through the cover region. Michael Clarke, absolutely confidence personified. He would have been trifle lucky there. Ishan Sharma was the luckless bowler. 20 overs, 5 maidens, none for 52. His figures really don't reflect what he did, but he bowled splendidly, and he has been a luckless bowler throughout this series. So Umesh Yadav was absolutely haywire. He was very wayward. 12 overs really was punished for 87 runs. Zahir Khan was good. 18 overs, 2 maidens, 1 for 52. Ishan Sharma I already talked about. Ashwin was the one who took the wickets. 26 overs, 4 maidens, 2 for 81. Virendra Sehwag, the captain, had to wheel his arm over. 13 overs, none for 49. In fact, Michael Clarke, as soon as he reached a century, hit Sehwag, lofted Sehwag over the pickets for a 6. And Virat Kohli bowled 1 over for 3 runs. So, this partnership is growing into, it's burgeoning, I would say, because 251 runs on. Michael Clarke, well, he has been very aggressive in that knock. If you look at his knock, it looks like a one-day knock. 140 not out of 188 balls, 19 fours and 1 6. It's a perfect batting pitch. There's not much for the bowlers probably in the first session, and one was saying that in Adelaide Oval, normally the history says that the pitch gives a lot to the bowlers in the first session, and that's what India capitalized on. But after that, that's a dodo, the Indian bowling attack, because the Australian batting really prospered at the expense of the Indian bowlers. So Ponting not out on 137, looking very good, and Michael Clarke was not out on 140, 19 fours and 1 6 of just 188 balls. So that gives you an inkling as to how Michael Clarke has really gone on in this particular innings. And for India, I think they are in for a real grind here. As I said, they did all the hard work. It looked like India were really beginning to do something, probably, but well, I definitely had that on mind because this was the first session, and after that, it's going to be a real hard grind for the bowlers, and that's what precisely happened. Yes, there was no luck for Ishant Sharma, as Michael Clarke was dropped in the final session. Other than that, well, I can only say that this has been one of those wonderful innings from Ricky Ponting. Ricky Ponting going on his 41st Test 100 was absolutely full of joy as he raised his bat, and Michael Clarke too. His driving was absolutely impeccable. Those 19 fours that you see, his driving was absolutely top class. And there was one shot which Michael Clarke plays was a flat-footed stroke. I mean, a flat-batted Virendra Sehwag through to the fence, right from the ball was on the off stump, and he had actually hit him onto the onside, even though he played across, but it was all across the carpet that the ball rolled on into the fence for 4. So Australia are looking probably in excess of 500 for sure, and probably even 600 probably, because the way the Australian batsmen are going, they have nothing to lose. The series is all theirs. They probably want to really tighten the screws on India, and Australians are known to do that. They don't give an inch to the opposition, and that's what they are doing. They have strangulated India right now at 335 for 3 and looking good for more, and probably today we might be seeing Ricky Ponting and Michael Clarke getting a double century. But again, one good thing in India's favour would be the first session at Adelaide Oval is always very crucial. If the Indian bowlers can strike very quickly over there, they still have Michael Hussey. Brad Haney is not in force. So it all depends on Ponting and Clarke, who have to carry on. If Ponting and Clarke can carry on, that would be, or that would augur well for Australia. But if that does not happen, then India probably can make a bit of an inroad and probably restrict the total to 500. Well, because Hussey is still there, Brad Haney is not in the best of form. But all in all, looks to be a very, very good day here on the second day here between Australia and India in the 4th Test here at Adelaide Oval. For India, well, they have to really play out of their skins here. They have to, get out something out of the ordinary to really, really, stop this very rampaging Australians. Other than that, dear fans, friends and subscribers, I have nothing else to add. I hope you all enjoyed my cricket show, Cricket Happenings for today. Thanks for keeping company, and keep the company going, dear fans, friends and subscribers. Your host Ram, signing off for the day. Thank you.